What's good? What's good? What's good, people? We are officially 1 year old. 1 year old. Now, normally I bring everybody in, one at a time, but because of the special weekend we had, we gonna bring everybody in and we're gonna get into it. And hey, look at it, right on time, never late, right on time, right on time, right on time. Cheers,
Right.
cheers, 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 cheers. We're
Yeah.
officially 1 years old. We were
Yes,
one
sir.
Saturday, August the 5th. So the day
Yes.
after the meetup. Well, actually, we were for the most part we were together when the birthday actually happened. For the
Facts.
most part,
Yeah.
for the most part, a great time.
Yeah.
A great time was had by all. So this is the way we're gonna run this. We got a few Ravens topics we're gonna talk about. Obviously, we're gonna do our introductions and chit chat a little bit. We're gonna talk about those few topics, but we're gonna get into the meetup and the all the laughs and the good stuff that happened, and just for those that couldn't be there, we about to make you jealous because you missed out on a great time.
That you did.
You missed out on a great time. We got some people to shout out and some things that happened that life happened and they end up just working themselves out. So what's up, everybody? So how was I normally ask you how was your weekend, but I was a
You
part
know.
of your weekend.
You were there. See,
We had a
Iron
great
Addict, you
time,
were
man.
there too. You said happy belated birthday. You were there celebrating with us.
Yeah.
It was a blessing to see guys, and girls come out and support and be able to put screen names with faces. That was amazing. And the funny thing is when because I had never seen any of the guys on the panel in person because we talk so much on screen and in our chat. I mean our text message. There wasn't this big shock of oh that's whatever. It was just like oh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a good thing. As far as and again we're getting to meet up, but again let's get these Raven topics out the way because I feel like it's something we got to do, but we really don't have to do. But I want to do it and just get it out the way, and then we can get into the good stuff. So everybody's here, gangs out here, everybody made it back safe. Even though some people just made it back by the skin of their teeth, we'll tell that story later. but it was the big fuss. Matter of fact, while we were together about the 9 interceptions that happened, I think it was Friday, and Kyle Barber put it out there that 9 interceptions happened, and he was getting backlash from a bunch of people that really cared too much. And then it finally came out. Isaiah Likely said in the post game press conference that it was a third and long period. And what most people don't know is when you have a third and long period, you're pretty much going to throw the ball regardless, whether they're open or not, because you're just trying to complete you're trying to get, trying to work on something. In a game, you may just throw it away or run and then get what you can get and punt. But in practice, if it's 3rd and 18, you're gonna try to get the 18 yards. If it's 3rd and 11, you're gonna throw it past the sticks and you're gonna force some balls. But some people don't understand that. And they jumped on that man for even reporting it. I saw one person even called him what did he call him, Dick Eater?
Yeah.
One person went that far and called him that for reporting what happened at practice. And I was like, man, y'all need to chill. It's practice and it's a period and the defense is good. So even just y'all, go ahead. What you think about? What you think about it?
I think like when based off of Marlon Humphrey's reaction, like he felt good about it. So I felt like it went really well for the defense. It wasn't no like just some gimme picks. I feel like the camp was coming together well for the secondary, and they were able to have a good I think they're able to have a good day, and they're like, listen, we're gonna take that. Like they didn't feel bad about that situation at all. So I think that bodes well because we're gonna need a defense to play like that because we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the defense is gonna be in those situations where it'll be third and deep, and we're gonna have some high power offenses that are gonna throw the ball. I mean, look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and them. They can complete a third and 16, no problem.
Right.
You know, look at your Kansas City Chiefs. They can complete those passes, but if the defense is flying around and they feel comfortable in those situations, that's only going to help us out. And for Lamar, like you said, I mean, they're learning a brand new offense. They're at a disadvantage. And if I don't know if they were told, hey, you have to get the first down. It's third and long, you have to get the first down, or I don't think they were doing check downs out there. You know what I mean? So that's the situation you're working with. That's why you have practice to work on those things.
Yeah, I think when we were discussing it here, I'm like, if the report was that Lamar was carving up or the quarterbacks was carving up the defense on third and long, then that would have been an issue, right? Because that means our defense is looking like trash. So it was scripted. Marlon Humphrey said it was scripted for the defense to win, and they won. They did what they supposed to do. So I'm happy with that outcome. I mean, what did Allen Iverson say?
We
And
talking
we
about
talking about
practice.
practice, man. Like that's what you want to get that out, right? You want to get these mistakes out. But if our defense would have lost on a day that was scripted for them, then that's a whole nother problem that we discussing. So it's no big deal to me. It is what it is. Typically, you lose on a day where it's against you. You know what I mean? Where it's scripted against you. So I think it's water under the bridge.
Yeah, that's why I always say I don't particularly care for training camp. You obviously if you have high profile rookies, you kind of want to hear how they're coming along, or if you have a giant hole in the middle of your offensive line like you all do, you want to see what you're doing to plug that. I heard Pat Ricard might be manning that for you. Godspeed. um, but like stories like this, like you got all the Ravens fans running around losing their minds. Like you don't know what Lamar can do. Like he hasn't shown you what he can do in real games. What are you worried about? Like
That's what I'm
if
worried
I had
about.
heard Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in practice last year, I'd be like, oh shit. I mean, I don't Sunday ain't looking so good. But you know what Lamar Jackson can do. So what are you worried about?
I'm worried about what you just said. Pat Ricard working out at what guard? Is he working out at guard? I'm assuming guard. I haven't heard anybody say anything about that left guard position and who's winning that battle. I'm starting to get concerned.
Yeah, just from the little bit that I saw when I was out there, I'm nervous about left guard. I'm nervous about left guard, but I'm gonna let them two. I'm gonna let Chris and Hendo talk about the 9 interceptions because I do want to talk about the left guard too though.
Is that all we talking about? I
Huh?
mean, look. So for me, is that what we talking about right now? The 9 interceptions.
Yeah, the 9 interceptions. We'll come back to the left guard stuff.
Oh, okay. For me, it's not a concern. Like you said, it was third and long situation. So they're practicing out third and longs. It's not like you're gonna be in 12 straight third and longs and just keep throwing deep passes. So
Right.
it's not a cause of a concern, but I am a little bit uneasy because, like you said, when you went to the practice, you just didn't seem happy. Then on Friday, the offense did not look good, and Coach Harbaugh had to kind of gift them a win on the point system to get their confidence back up. And I understand new pieces, new offensive coordinator, and everything like that, but the offensive line isn't kind of gelling, and Lamar ain't happy because he done had several outbursts during this camp, and it's unlike him to let his emotions show. So
Right.
yeah, it's not alarming, but I do think it's something that we have to look at.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady. He used to, try to get away with throwing passes during practice just to see what he can get away with in real games. So Lamar taking those gambles in practice, like that's just what he has to do as a quarterback. You know, you have to see what you could get away with and what you can't get away with. Get those mistakes out now so you learn from them when the regular season comes. And, you know, just as far as the offense, I mean, they haven't even been together a full month, you know, so there's going to be growing pains, like during practice, during training camp, during the preseason, even early in the year. Like, I don't expect this team to come out and just, you know, start, you know, throwing the ball all over the place.
Right.
Like, I think there's going to be some growing pains with it. And like Hendo was saying, you know, with the offensive line, I mean, you know, they have to adjust too. It's not just like, you know, oh, you know, we're going to be having the same blocking schemes. Like, I see a lot of differences in the blocking schemes and a lot of the footwork and different kind of things. Like I saw Zeitler pulling during the open practice. I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
like
Because you normally see one person pulling.
yeah,
Whoever the left guard is.
the left guard. Yeah, it was mostly the left guards, but I saw him pulling. I was like, all right. And then I see Salah pulling out there too, and I'm like, okay. And it kind of looked discombobulated. So, you know, I think everybody's just learning right now on the offensive side, and I think once they get this thing ironed out, and they all actually get at least a month and a half together, like I think we'll really start to see them get into a good groove. And like we know, the defense always has the upper hand early on.
Right. What I saw when I was out there was the good thing is I saw plays that looked like real football. It wasn't everybody right on top of each other. Like there were times when they were running 11 on 11 and 7 on 7 and likely would catch balls and nobody would be around them because they actually had a deep threat, a lower threat, and likely would be the intermediate threat. He'd catch balls and he'd almost stop getting ready to be hit and look around and nobody would be there. Then he'd take off running. So stuff like we actually saw like plays, real football plays like everybody else. I also saw the O-line was not the greatest, but I will say this. Farlele is about as big as a house. Like that dude, like he made Ben Cleveland look small.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler Linderbaum is small. I don't know. My respect for him grew like enormous. I already liked him because of what he did during the season. But actually seeing how small he was and knowing how well he does his job, my respect grew tremendously for that kid because he little for O-line.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see he was standing beside Farlele one time, I couldn't even see him.
Like a kid.
Couldn't even see him. Now, my dog had a great practice while I was out there, so I was happy. That don't mean much nothing, but while I was out there, he had a great practice. Had 5 or 6 deep balls, didn't drop. I will say when I was there, 3 balls hit the ground. 3. And 2 of them were because of Devin Duvernay. Now, that's who didn't have a good practice. And his body language was bad, and he just didn't look like he was happy.
Really?
He didn't look quick. He looked like he, we all know he's fast, but he didn't practice fast. He looked like his mind was somewhere else.
Going through the motions.
Yeah, I ain't want to go there, but that's kind of what he looked like. And what I really like, what I dislike from being a coach is like the plays going on and everybody on the sideline is looking in this direction, but you're down here by yourself on the knee, away from the team. That bothered me when I was coaching. I don't know how other professionals feel or whatever, but me personally, that bothered me to like you want to stand out and don't want to be a part of the team. But that's what I saw. But as far as I see Carolina got a Christmas gift recently. What y'all think about us missing out on another guy that probably should have been signed here?
I mean, you said a Christmas gift. I mean, that was more like, hey, we at Walmart. Can I get something out of the dollar bin kind of thing? But
that's a 10-sack dude.
But it was he was a 9.5 sack dude.
Well, if it wasn't for Oway, he'd be 10 sacks.
Well, if he could wrap up, he'd be 10 sacks too, right?
He'd be 15 sacks.
I mean,
he can get to the quarterback still though.
But yeah, I thought that was a nice move for Carolina. They don't really have anybody who can fill that pass rush specialist role. I mean, they have Frankie Lou, but I mean, they don't have another edge. And so, I think maybe they're going to try and get Frankie to play a little bit more. And Houston will be that pass rush specialist, and he'll only be playing his 5, 6, 100 snaps, however many he can get out there. And Gross Matos can go sit the bench where he belongs. Get the hell off my team.
What we for us 5 that are Ravens fans, what we gonna do with that edge, man? I did see Malik. They had Malik out there playing some edge, but do we really got that much confidence in the
I'm sorry, I can't give my opinion on the Ravens as well. I apologize.
He is a fan.
I was going to end it. I was going to close it out with my opinion on Baltimore missing out.
No. I thought I misunderstood. I thought that you were going to give your why it was good for Justin Houston, and we were just going to give ours on why we're missing out.
I wasn't
trying to insult.
My apologies for the miscommunication.
Yeah, that's me too.
It's Odafe Owe season. All right, he about to break out.
I mean,
he's about to break out. He gonna roll out there. He gonna replace them 9.5 sacks. Shout out to Yolanda.
Right on
time.
Hey, I will say this though. Hey, he looked the part.
Coach,
he looked. No, he
always looked the part.
Coach,
in the past, he for real looks the part now.
Well, let me not say anymore because Yolanda was at the meet and greet and she made a beeline straight to B and was just like, "Listen,
stop.
Oh wait, stop it."
Okay. Borderline rude, Yolanda. But
hey, Coach, did he look good or did he look good against our offensive line? Did he look good against the op?
He was going against Ronnie.
Listen,
he was on Ronnie's side.
Give me against the op. I'll take it. It was better than how he looked last year.
Yeah, he was on Ronnie's side. They had Malik and the young guy on the op side because Ajabo was kind of walking around and he went in early. I think he had got hurt the day before. So always most of his reps came versus Ronnie. But were them pads.
Oh, really?
Them pads. What they did was they had them 2 days of just helmets and then they came back and had pads when nobody couldn't come. Well, they had the military was there. They had the military appreciation, but they was there. But so,
who's rushing on the opposite side of Owe?
Malik Harrison and UDFA from last year. Moon. Yep. Right.
Right. Yeah. We love our depth.
I see you, Mike. It's about time to make that call, huh?
Go get him.
Why?
Look, we got to get somebody. I'll take him over Malik over there.
Oh, yeah, but you know how we do. We wait till the last minute, hoping that guys will just sit around waiting on that phone call from us like other teams aren't interested.
We strike 2.
Look, I think Van Noy is going to be the move. Didn't they bring him in already?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Van Noy. I wouldn't mind. He reminds me of Bowser.
And that's the thing too. Like, what's up with Bowser? Like, he had his knee wrapped up last week when he came, and I don't know. That's a little scary.
It's hot out there, Chris. They ain't trying to practice.
No,
bro. It was not hot.
I hope that's what it is.
It was chilly out there, actually.
Because there was a clip of him. There was a clip of him walking from the parking lot into the facility, and he had his leg wrapped, and he was limping a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hope that's fake. I know I would do that.
I sent y'all a picture of hot.
Oh yeah, you did.
That was at whatever time that was. So it's 9:23 right now. That thing's still in triple digits.
Jeez.
No, thank you.
Still in triple digits. So
Frank Clark went to Denver.
Yeah.
Everybody getting edge, but never mind. Let's talk about the O-line real quick. Let's talk about the O-line, then we'll get into the good stuff. I'm nervous. I'm just leaving it at that. I'm nervous.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we even throwing Ricardo up there to even see, and the fact in my mind I'm thinking that might not be bad.
It's malpractice, what that is.
Because that's how nervous I am about left guard. To the fact that I think that Ricard might be a better option than anybody we got over there.
Just like
if he can pick it up, because I know he got decent feet, but he'd have to learn the nuance of it.
Just like it was a good idea to put a tight end on a damn defensive end for Denver and let him jump on Lamar back. Like, that was a real good idea too, huh? We love switching people's positions. We love taking them out of what they do, making them something else, and hoping that it works out.
Pat Ricard ain't got no damn position. And
Ricard is a football player.
Pat Ricard position is a racist trying to protect Lamar, and I don't want to see it.
Facts. Hard R. Hard Ricard.
What should we do about that left guard, Chris?
What should we do about left guard?
Because the first 2 weeks they said they was giving Salah opportunity, so it's supposed to be these next 2 weeks supposed to be
Simpson week.
Simpson and
he shall not be named is not even getting a week.
Right, and I'm still doubling down on my stick of gun bet with Cole. And I don't know if he in here or not. Probably not. I bet Cole. What Cole to change his podcast to something else, Road Graders or something like that. And I bet him a 70-something cent and a pack of Big League Chew that Lele that what's like Ben Cleveland gonna start at left guard. Because we got to run the ball, and so we can't run the ball with Salah.
He kind of losing that bet either way, huh, Coach?
You're not gonna run that with Cleveland either.
But I'm saying, but if Salah starts, I lose. But if somebody else starts, I think we just push. It's like Ben Cleveland for me, Salah for him, and then if somebody else starts, I think it's a push.
Yeah.
So
and the team loses.
I hope we get to see the big fella there. I want the big fella to find a way to grab hold of that position, and that's the big house, as you call them. Like, obviously you could tell us how he looked in practice, but I just think inside he'd be a mauler in there. I mean, he's a big dude. So I personally would like to see that, but anybody that's not going to get any dents or scratches on our shiny Ferrari,
right?
That's it.
Yeah,
anybody free agency is there? Like
Dalton Risner.
Nah.
Y'all better call up Dallas.
Better get Dalton Risner.
You wanna pay Zach Martin?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the highest graded O lineman this year in that little top 100 thing?
Zach Martin?
I'm not
Yes.
sure.
One of the highest.
But Zach said that he is in fact the best at his position.
He is not.
So
Not
Zach,
anymore.
Zach said
He is not. The best at his position resides in Indianapolis.
but Zach said
Whoa. Who was that?
Left
coach?
guard,
Who was that, coach?
Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson.
You seen his last 2 years?
Yeah,
He was hurt. When he hurt last year?
he was hurt.
I mean,
The healthy Quentin Nelson
Well,
ain't much better.
I'm just saying.
You ain't
Who
see
you
Ben-
think? Who you thinking?
You ain't see Ben Powers play last year.
Oh no! Listen. Quentin Nelson is a beast, but just last year, like you said, with the injuries and everything, he didn't play up to the standards. Now, my thing is, if I'm the second best guard and I play all 35 games, or whatever it is, I'm the best.
You the best guard. Yeah, I see where you're going. Yeah,
Sure.
I mess with the argument. I
regardless, he's better than every guard in Baltimore.
Yes.
This is true.
He's on the one.
But what we're doing is we're taking college tackles and trying to convert them to guards. So that makes it even worse.
But that's the whole league does that.
I mean, yes,
the whole league does that because they you get an NFL tackle, a good NFL tackle out of college is rare. That's why a lot of them the tackles go to guards, and a lot of the guards don't make the NFL.
Facts. But coach, when are we successful at doing it? I'm not talking about the rest of the league. When are we successful at transitioning somebody from one position to another?
I'm gonna tell you why we have a problem doing it.
John Harbaugh?
This is well maybe him, but this is the reason. Y'all can write it down. This is the reason why we have a problem doing it. Because our O-line coach, he's nowhere close to the size of the guys he's coaching, but his feet is. So Joe D is about 6. Probably I say Joe D's 5'11", 6 feet. But he look like he wears a size 18 orthopedic shoe. And so they ain't paying attention to him teaching the steps and whatnot. They looking at that big shoe and wondering how is he getting around this field. Because I'm sitting up there I'm sitting in the stands. I'm like, Jody he way below everybody else, but his feet the same size as Farley. So how is he managing to get around on this?
That's terrible.
He's skiing around the field.
So they ain't paying attention to what he talking about. They're looking at his feet, wondering like, bro, what are you doing?
He clipping it.
He another one.
Hot clipping everybody.
Everybody this year, man. Like it got to work out. I mean, we're not feeling good about the O line right now, but this There's no excuses this year. It has to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good. I ain't want to talk about Ravens unless y'all do.
Coach, it's tough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them George Pickens catches.
Wait, hey,
But we chose old Jabbo.
hey, y'all know how I feel about Pickens. You already know. And then somebody talking about all those catches, he ain't creating no separation. That's fine.
Yeah, catch it.
And Quabo didn't create separation.
That's fine. Did he catch the ball or not?
Right.
And you can learn, you can become a better route runner. You can't coach that athleticism he got.
Facts.
Nah.
Listen,
There were a lot of times where he created separation and their quarterback couldn't get him the ball. So
Not Mittens. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You putting that on Mittens?
Baby hands could not get it done.
It's a cold world out here, man.
And the thing is, you need a guy that's the kind of guy that can keep Mittens there for a while and can get Mittens numbers, because like Randy say, even when I'm covered, I'm open.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy like that.
you can't trust a dude with little hands like that to get you the ball. I mean, if he had one of these, this would be a plaque in his hands.
Facts. Facts. You hold it like this.
Oh man.
we just looking overall. We'll say this: my first time actually getting a chance to go to the castle. I was nervous because I was like, why? Like the GPS is taking me to somebody's neighborhood. Like, what is going? Like, I don't know where I'm going.
That road.
And then I was like, oh, it was there. It was just, it's like they just found a plot of land in the middle of somebody's neighborhood and built it up. But once you got there, it's beautiful. The architecture, the what's it called, with the
Landscape.
Yeah, that's the word. The landscaping, it was beautiful. They had food there. They had stuff for the kids. The music was low and probably trash because I could barely hear it. But I mean, it was a beautiful atmosphere. They had a bunch. They didn't have as many kids as I thought used to be there, which was good because I think school had started. But it was a nice environment. They had a line for the kids to sign autographs and whatnot. And when we were leaving, Beckham, Prochet, and Morgan Moses were still on the field. Morgan Moses, I want to say it's his girl. I'm not sure. I don't know what his girl looked like, but I know it was his kids. They ran on the field to take pictures with Beckham, and then once he took the picture, he dipped. But Prochet just stayed out there with him and played catch and whatnot. And Moses just kind of hung around while everybody else was over there with the kids, signing autographs.
Show your value.
James ain't got nothing else to do.
That's why he gonna be perfect in that role as player personnel assistant. That type dude.
I ain't ready to give up on my dog yet. I just see that six spot. That six spot got his name on it.
Nah, but I mean, they showed. I don't know if that was that practice, but they showed him when a kid was nervous or something like that.
That was the next day, I think.
Okay, and he stopped and he spent some time with the kids. So, I know we kid about James Prochet, but this area really loves him, and he loves this area. So he seems to be a really, really good dude, especially within the community. So you always got to respect that.
And I made a tweet about that, and I was saying stuff like that matter. I wasn't necessarily talking about football. I was talking about like whatever that dude do in life because of the kind of person he is. I'm gonna root for him. Yes. I wasn't necessarily talking about whether he make the team or not. I mean, just because of the type of dude he is. And then, somebody took it as, trying to, people be trying to get under my skin with Prochet. Yes. I just cut it off. Like, look,
steal your joy.
Have a nice life, man. You got it, bro. I ain't even gonna go back and forth with you.
Right.
So, but there is something to be said about him though, because he would. I mean, I granted, what's the name? Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers were out, but he was getting some runs with the ones too. Mm-hmm. So, that says a little bit.
I mean, that day I was out there. I'm sure that was his best practice because I know he caught about 6 or 7 deep balls. He had
touchdowns
stuff across the middle. He showed out the day I was out there, and Zay was there. So Zay, I like that hint. I like where
he was there. He was there.
That's what it was.
Covered.
Right, got it. But the thing is, like when we had the stadium practice, Zay didn't practice, so I figured he got them reps. But at this practice, Zay practiced, and he was out there still, doing his thing with the ones. So, but what's kind of look bad. That's how I'll leave it at that. Duvernay looked. His body language looked bad. He didn't look fast in drills, and it was a walkthrough. Nobody, they really wasn't running fast until like the ball was in the air, but still, he just his body language.
I'm trying to make the team, coach. I'm going hard.
Exactly. I feel like that they the guys that were there, like they feel like they pissed off because they brought other receivers in because the position wasn't good. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You got to bring guys in to compete.
Listen, that's how you weed out the ones that shouldn't be there. Then,
right. Appreciate the 5Ds. He says just showing support and love for the content, fellas. Also, what I think about that brawl that happened in Alabama. All I'm gonna say about that brawl is I know there's a new bat signal when you need help. When you need help, just throw your hat.
Throw your hat. That's gonna work forever now.
There's officially a new bat signal for us.
They came from everywhere, even out the water.
Now listen, I before now there's rumor, there's word that was a 16-year-old kid, who did that. But before I knew that, I think I tweeted yesterday, like, look, that person who swam across is not getting enough attention. Cause now that brother was like, look, he saw that hat went up and he must have was like,
it's on.
I must respond. And then he jumped in the water.
The name more.
First of all, he turned into Black man. Listen, I knew he had to be a young boy.
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. He swam across the water, picked the other dude up and slammed him. Us old guys, we'd have been on the shore like, oh God, give me
the people in the blue shirts were actually workers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found that out later. Like they all were working.
Yeah, that was his colleague.
Right.
So it was crazy. It was crazy because me, Jose, Brodney, and Ferris were outside an ice cream shop, and Jose showed us the video, and I'm like, oh, what is this? Then when I got home and saw it, people had like 7 different angles.
Right.
Like, I'm like, so they trying to steal August 5th day, right? Okay, they trying to take our shine away from us.
Like they shooting a movie.
They took it, cuz they took it.
They had shirts. They had shirts the next day.
The same day.
It was the same day. Oh,
I thought the same day.
Where did my man get the chair from?
I don't know.
Under the ring.
He was swinging that thing like,
and the cops was letting them until he hit that old lady. Right.
And he hit that lady. I kind of felt bad for him.
Hey man, she should have sat her old ass down.
That was some beautiful teamwork though, because if you watch it again, the other dude pushed her down first, and then he came right in with the chair shot. And the cops were like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
I did see it on TikTok before I came on that. So apparently one of the dudes that were that kind of, I don't know, that instigated or whatever, he was like, and he made fun of it. He was like, apparently 65-year-old man got his hands on.
Yeah, he got hands.
And he was like purple and whatnot, and he made a joke out of it. And I don't know how he actually is in person, but that his TikTok was funny. If he was in it. But I also seen people like trying to reenact it and whatnot, and that I ain't really like that, but the actual event was I was in awe that dude when he dove off that little riverboat and swam across and jumped out ready to fight.
That was a far swim too.
Yeah, that's impressive, bro. Because listen, I could swim across there, right? Now it's the pulling myself out of the water part.
That's
after doing all that swimming,
fully clothed. Too.
Yeah,
right.
Like I mean, look, for me to pull myself out of the water after making that swim, like I'm gonna pull myself out, but I'm gonna roll over first to get up. yeah. Because I'm tired. You know what I'm saying?
I need a ladder.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna let y'all go first. I'll get him on this end over here.
So salute to that cat, man.
I'm gonna just choke out whoever fall in the water. That's what
I just be throwing stuff from the boat because I can't swim.
All right. So for those that don't know, we had the Roundup meetup Friday. For those that don't know,
For a
there's
lot
some
of them
people
out
that
there.
didn't
For
know.
a lot of
A lot of
y'all,
them out there,
apparently.
Apparently,
Some people didn't know.
apparently it
Some
was a
people
surprise.
didn't know.
Yeah, a little pop up.
Yeah, you're right.
Apparently they ain't tell
With-
nobody.
Random meeting
with-
happened
with
Friday.
people from across the country and whatnot.
Ferris just happened to be in Baltimore.
So,
Right.
so what I do is we'll take turns and kind of talking about different things that went on. But I do want to start. With our door person,
Pitbull.
Salute.
Miss. I think it's Shaquita Haywood. I wrote it down. Miss Shaquita Haywood. And let me tell you the story of Miss Haywood. And I don't know if she watching or not or whatnot, but Miss Haywood came to Bus Boys and Poets to have a regular dinner or whatever, after her shift, what she does or whatever. And they didn't have enough seats for her downstairs. So she just wandered upstairs and we were upstairs setting up. So she just kind of sat at the bar and started talking to my wife. And, one thing led to another. And she ended up manning the door for us. So she basically ended up being the ticket taker for us at, our meet and greet. And when I tell you, she wasn't letting nothing pop out. But the good thing was that she was on it, but she was having fun with it too.
Yeah.
Like I saw her, and I think it was Marcus. I think it was Marcus. Marcus came in and verify with me, Marcus, if I'm right. I think Marcus came in, and she saw his ticket with Elvin, but she was acting like he didn't have a ticket. She had already gave him his raffle tickets to the person he was with. And he didn't realize it was a joke, so he was fumbling with his phone, trying to get it straight, and it had this nervous look on his face. But everybody else around had already realized she was playing with him. And then when he finally realized, like, oh, you just messing with me, she was doing that all night. Yeah. So when you talk to people throughout the night, they had different stories about her, and I really appreciate what she did. Mm-hmm. And she told this little story to my wife, and she said she had a day at work, and she enjoyed being in a space where we were enjoying being around each other. So I don't know what had happened to her at work. I know what she do, but I ain't gonna put it out there. But she just said she enjoyed being in a space where people were enjoying being with each other. She said it was good energy in there, and she had said she was just gonna stay for 30 minutes because she really was just trying to get something to eat.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, she stayed the whole time.
Yeah, she was there.
The whole time.
She's one of the last ones. She's one of the last ones to leave
the whole time.
Well, there's stuff to eat there,
right? And
I know that
her son was a starting running back at Jackson State last year, and he's plays with the University of Colorado now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he's gonna start, but he's potentially the starting running back for University of Colorado. But he definitely started at Jackson State last year. So shout out to you, Ms. Haywood. I thank you. If you're watching, if you're not watching, I'll probably get back to you, but I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Miss Haywood. Look, Miss Haywood was exactly what we needed. She was exactly what we needed. Like, she had a friend with her.
That was her mother.
Oh, that was her mom. Okay, no wonder they was
a friend though. I don't know. I don't even know if it was a mother. I think they worked together. I think.
Really?
Don't quote me on that, but I think they worked together.
That's what she said. That was her mother.
I think they worked together. Don't quote me. But I think they worked together.
But look, when Miss Haywood had to step away from the door, her friend, mom, whatever, stepped right over there, right? Mm-hmm. And that just showed, like, it was just the vibe of the night, man. Like Coach said, randomly wasn't there for the meetup. Came upstairs to see what was going on. She liked what she saw, man. So she joined us, and then not only did she join us, she got to work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And she wasn't playing. I walked there. I think Hinda was standing at the door at this time, and I was coming out of the bathroom, and at the door was, a good buddy of ours who I've known since I was 5 years old. So I'm walking up, and I'm like, "Yeah, he good." And she was like, "Nah, I want to see his ticket." And I'm like, "Nah, he good. I know him." And Hindo was like looking at her like, she was like, "Well, what's your name?" And he said his name, and Hindo was like, "His name is on the list. Like, I made the list." She was like, "Nah, I want to see it." So she was she was good, man. It was great to see and to learn the story because I didn't know the story until afterwards that she wasn't. Initially, I thought it was somebody Hendo knew because when Hendo was standing at the door at the story I just explained, then I was like, nah. Then I seen her talking to Coach's wife, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's Coach's people. And then my wife afterwards was like, nah, that's somebody related to Jose, and I was like, nah, that's Coach's people. And then when we got to the next spot, Coach was like, nah, I ain't know her. I was like, wow. So that just made the story even better. So shout out to Miss Haywood for sure.
Indeed. Like, listen, I didn't find out until Saturday. The next day. To y'all was like, I don't know who she was because, like, I thought like she was talking to your wife, and she talked to everybody like she knew them, like she was a real pleasant person.
Yep.
Except the only person that may have had a bad incident with her was Justin P. Because she kind of tackled him, like she came hit Justin P in the stomach. He's like, oh, but she was real cool. Her companion. Like she was like, yeah, I'm really interested because she read everybody's bios and she was telling me about everybody's stuff. So I'm sitting there talking to like 5 minutes. Then Dre comes in and Dre hugging both of them like, oh, I'm a hugger. He hugging them. And I'm like, Dre, we don't know none of them. I don't know who they are. He's like, I thought they was your peoples. That's just how warm those people were. But I was like, I thought they were they came with you, Coach, because your wife was over there talking to us so much. I just like, I don't know who she was, but she, she did a thing. Yeah. She was very entertaining and helpful. And we even talked for like 20 minutes after the event ended. So, shout out to her. Shout out to both of them.
Shout out to her, for sure.
Next up. And we had what? We hit our number. We're not gonna say what our number was. We hit our number.
We went over.
And then some. Yeah.
And then some. Yeah, we actually had some walk-ups. We had people that were actually downstairs just enjoying their night come up to see what was going on. And they read the bios, wanted to see the space, wanted to see what was going on, and it turned out to be good. The food was good. I got to meet everybody that came out. See Iron show love. Chef show love.
Chef,
Yolanda show love. Who else?
Marcus.
Dre, Marcus.
Just Allo.
I miss Just Allo.
Danity was there.
Danity
was there.
They owe a Danity apology.
Just like I said she would be.
D-Weezy.
D-Weezy came through, yeah.
Marcus.
Reg, Brandon. We had
Justin and Dave.
Let me
Justin Dave, yep.
Yeah.
Give you a little peek. Give you a little quick peek real quick.
Yeah.
That was early in the
That was early, yeah. I don't think I was there.
This was later.
Yeah.
This was later. So we had the food was good, the atmosphere was good, the conversations were good. Just give me something that's been on your mind about the event, since it took place.
And like I said during the event, when we were doing the little Q&A, it's just that you get into this and you just kind of think that okay, I'm just having fun. You get to know some people and you just talk about what you love to talk about. You don't really expect people to be listening, people to be connecting with it. You don't really expect it to grow. You don't really expect people to support that way. So seeing, so many people that we see every week here, in the chat, not only here, but on Lunch Break Hot Take, and I'm sure on your other channels as well, you seeing them in the chat and you kind of, you build that relationship. But like you said, Coach, you don't know the people, like you don't know the faces and everything. So to see how many people actually care enough to come out and support us, in person and meet us and have that great of a night, it really meant a lot.
Yeah. The two things that stuck out in my mind was one, me and B showed up late. That's I'm a believer for
that. Black people time.
It was my fault. I was struggling, man. Like you guys, if you watched our show last week, you saw I lost my voice, and I barely got it back Friday, and I was just kind of laying there like I don't know if I can make it, right? Like I'm not sure. I can't speak, but I just finished cutting B's hair. I was like, man, let's just go, and we're already late, and I called April, and yes, Tasha, shout out to the wives, shout out to the wives.
Yeah, they did an amazing job.
Yes,
an amazing job.
But I called April. I was like, hey, I'm pulling up, and she's like, just pull up right to the front. I'll come and park the car for you. You and B get in there, and like we felt like stars a little bit because we pull up right to the front, everybody looking, and she just like people, she just come and take the car and drive off. People like, oh, they got valet around here, and then like as soon as we walk out, like I got that fresh printed, lunch break hot take shirt that my man right here, microphone man, on my shirt. People are looking at that, and then my guys Huck and Jerome just come out of nowhere, dab us up, and we walk in like a crew, and everybody's like, who's that? And then when we get upstairs, like it's packed. And I'm just like, man, like, we had a conversation before the event, like, should we stop selling tickets? Because they were going really fast all of a sudden. And I was like, no, keep it going. And then when I saw it, and I was like, man, maybe we should have stopped. I don't know, The second one was at the end when everybody wanted to take pictures with us. That was humbling.
Yes.
That was humbling.
And let me see. I didn't forward those to myself, so I can't flash them up there. But maybe on like Instagram, somebody can do it. But pretty much everybody that came, we just had a bunch of group pictures, and the fact that people just wanted to jump in and take a picture with us, that was it's humbling,
right?
And it to me, to be a regular dude, for somebody to recognize me is crazy.
Don't leave out. You got recognized that dinner, coach.
That's what I was going to lead to.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going to lead to. We went to Cheesecake. Matter of fact, let me get my phone because I said I got their name because I wanted to make sure I call their name right. Give me a sec. So when we got there, we went to Cheesecake and was ordering food and whatnot. And so we had two bartenders, a young lady and a man. And they were talking to us like normal, like they would or whatever. So another guy comes and he was like, "Hey, that's the tally." And the male bartender was like, "Yeah, that's him. Just let him order his food first." So that let me knew that he already knew who I was.
Don't mess with the celebrities.
and so I was like, man, that's like, because I didn't stay in Baltimore. I stayed on the outskirts. So, and just when that happened, I was like, man, this is crazy. And so I made sure I got their names. So the bartender was Waverly, and the server that recognized his name was Mike. I don't know if his real name is Michael, but they called him Mike. So I wanted to shout them two dudes out for for just showing love, while we were there. I wish we would have got hooked up with a discount or something, but
right. Show some real love, all right?
But Waverly was pumping them drinks out, and Mikey, he seemed excited to see me, and I was happy to know somebody that actually watched the show and recognized me. So I was happy. And then when I went to the practice, there were two other dudes, Dion and Craig, kind of like Craig and Dave. That was when I picked it up. But one of them knew who I was and was asking about the meetup and whatnot. And he was like, my wife told him that we was having it, and he was talking like he was gonna come, but I ain't really believe him. He was like, "Hendo gonna be there?" I'm like, "Yeah, Hendo gonna be there." He's like, "Yeah, I need to come hear me Hendo."
You ain't got to lie, Craig.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. He did say that, but one of them name was Dion, the other one name was Craig. But what the one of them said they was coming, the other one say I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't make it. I got date night, and if I roll up in there with my girl, she kick my butt because I'm already in the doghouse. So, but just being recognized was crazy. The space was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the space was amazing. Even though they probably should have let us in there earlier. Yeah, we could have been. It would have been great to get in there early, set up, and then breathe
for a second
before we start welcoming people.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, had I known they're gonna let us use the balcony for free, that would have changed things.
Right.
They told us it would cost extra, but we could have used that space because, like
She
the
told me that too
capacity-
before she got missing.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even see her. I didn't even see
Yeah,
her.
you did. Yeah, she ate her food.
Right, so right before I saw you, I was in the hallway talking to her. And she had a little plate or whatever, and she was saying, "Yeah, you could have
course.
came in whenever, and yeah, if if it get a little too crowded, you can use that space outside if you need to." And never saw her again.
Yeah, she
Never. So
bounced.
she was inside working when we started. She
Mhm.
kind of worked her way to where the tables were, the bios were, maybe 20 minutes after that. Then she worked her way on the other side of the steps with her plate.
Mhm.
Then after that,
You
She
know
was
why?
gone.
Our wives chased her away. They were on her. They're like, yo, who are you talking to for this event? I gave up her number. They were hitting her up, emailing her, texting her, like all hours of the day. She was like, God damn, I need to get my plate and get up out of here. Before they ask me anything else. But yeah, no, it was. I mean, the only thing I could ask for better was the sound system.
yeah,
That was
Yeah.
it. That was it. But other than that, man, it was damn near perfect. Damn near perfect. Like it was a great night.
those 2 hours went by too
Too
quick.
fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast.
Too quick.
Next year gonna be a shindig. We got to go longer than that. It's
Most
gonna be a party.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most
Oh,
definitely.
we get the party going afterwards.
Yeah, we gonna get into that too. If
Yeah.
y'all want to, we definitely can get into that. We
Yeah.
had an after party, but I want to see because Chris had a 1-day excursion. I want to see what Chris' day was like.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
My day started off smoothly. I got there, everything was good, everything was cool. I went to my boy's gym out there because my boy got a gym, so I went to go check it out real quick. Then I found some Mexican spot. I got time to eat. Let me go eat. And then I'm just walking around downtown Baltimore. I'm just looking around. I've never been there before, like the downtown area. Like I've been by where the stadium is at, but downtown Baltimore I didn't see.
Were you by the harbor, that area?
No, I was by a college. Is it Baltimore University?
University of Baltimore.
University of Baltimore. Yeah, that's where I was by. So I was just strolling around, taking it in, just seeing the town and seeing how it is. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me get my Uber. Go head to the spot. I get in the Uber. I could tell there's an Orioles game going on because there's a bunch of people wearing the Orioles stuff, and then there's a choo-choo train just going right through the street, and we stop, and then the choo-choo train passes by, and we're not moving. So I'm like, all right. And he's like, damn. He's like, he gets out the car. He's like, don't worry, I'll be right back in. And he opens up the hood. I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. So then I started getting on my phone. I'm like, I'm gonna get a refund. I gotta order a new one. He's like, no, I got you. I'll get it working again. Never got it working, so I ordered another one. And then I got to the space, and when I got there, it was beautiful. Like, just that whole area is just beautiful. Like once we got there, like I think it was like you see a Whole Foods, then you just see like this big space, and I was like, yo, this is nice. Like this is really, really nice. And we got to that little shopping center area thing, and I was like, yo, this is dope. And then he was like, it's right here. And I was like, oh snap, I didn't even see it. And then when we bought, because I've seen the pictures of it, like I've been looking at pictures of it for the past couple of months, but the pictures don't even do it justice.
They don't.
Of how beautiful and how nice the space is. Like just the layout of it is nice. Like everything is just beautiful about that space. So it was great. And then going home, I had to dip out early because the next bus, because I took the bus there because I didn't want to drive back. I wanted to sleep. So it's either I had to take a 9:30 bus or a 1:30 a.m. bus. And I had coaching duties in the morning, so I needed some sleep. So we're on stage, and then like I'm, keeping track of the time. And then coach nudges me, and he's like, "Don't you gotta go?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, let me order it." And I ordered an Uber, and then I'm like, because I'm used to New York. You order an Uber, the Uber's here in like 2 minutes. So over there, I see 15 minutes, and I was like, damn, I'm not gonna make it. And so the dude gets there. It's saying I'm gonna get to the bus stop at like 9:45. Mind you, it's a 9:30 bus. So I get downstairs. I tell the dude, I'm like, yo, if you could do your best Vin Diesel, now is the time. He was a real cool dude. Shout out to Joseph. He was like, oh, I'm gonna try my best, and he was zooming through that highway. We were supposed to get there at 9:45. We got there at 9:40. So he got there 5 minutes earlier. So shout out to him. And he told me, he was like, yo, if your bus isn't there, I take you to the Horseshoe so you could just go hang out there instead of hanging out here in case you missed your bus. Nice. I was like, all right, bet, cool. So I go in, I walk in, it's nothing but like crackheads in the little bus thing.
Okay. Sounds accurate.
It's dark. I don't see no buses in the line. I'm like, shit. So I keep walking in, and then I look to the left, and like the gates of heaven. the lights was shining, and I see New York on the top. So I run outside, I bang on the door, and then the bus driver, he's like messing around with it and stuff. And I'm like, you're not gonna open the door for me? Because I was ready to take the damn mirror down. Like if he didn't open it, I would have hung off that shit the whole way back to New York.
You leaving here with something, huh?
But he finally, after like a minute and a half, he opened the door. And he was like, I don't think this bus is going anywhere. He said the brake is locked. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm coming on this bus. Like, I don't care. I don't give a shit what we doing. So he was like, all right, just come on in. And I sat down, and like 3 minutes later, he got it started. And I was like, woo. Somebody was looking out for me. Somebody was looking out for me, man. But it was worth it, man. It was a great time, man. Being around everybody, like, you know, people are like, hey, what's up? I'm Steve. I was like, they're like, oh, no, I'm, you know,
screen name
Squeegee Man 87. I'm like, all right. But everybody was super cool. There wasn't no weird energy. Nobody.
Right.
It was just straight up. You know, it was a lot of love in there, and you know, a lot of support. So, and then also, you know, being around you guys, like, it just felt like, I mean, we never. Well, I hung out with B and Jose for a little bit when they came to New York, but all of us as a collective, like, we never hung out before. So being together, it didn't feel like like I think Coach said it earlier, it didn't feel like we was hanging out for the first time.
Right.
It was like, oh, what up, Hendo? Like, it was just like, that was that. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you know, like that awkwardness when you first meet somebody. It was just smooth. Mm-hmm. And we kind of got together because, you know, we were all like mingling in different areas and stuff like that. And then when we got on stage, it was like we formed into the, you know, the Power Zord from the Power Rangers. Like, it was like, all right, we back together again, and it felt good. So, you know, it was great, man. And you know, salute to you guys that's over there too, that, you know, did a lot of the legwork, man. Because I know I know stuff like that is not easy, and the back and forth, and then, you know, little situations here and there. So, you know, shout out to you guys, shout out to your wives, because man, y'all did a great job.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, amen and shout out to them wives. Go ahead, Kendall.
Oh yes, indeed. Yeah. Boy, it would not have been the way that it was without them.
Hey, you might have had, like, when I used to have barbecues, we had bread and drink. We had meat and drink and bread.
That was it.
We had no sides.
Facts. But for me, it was a couple things. Like you both said, just all of us coming together. It wasn't a weird energy. It wasn't no like just awkwardness. It was just like we all fit. And it came together. We did our thing. But one of the more surprising things, I guess not surprising, one of the things that stuck out was the community that we built. Everybody was mingling. Like everybody, most of the people did not know each other, but you had people just going to tables, meeting people, sitting down, having conversations. And it felt like we brought together something really special.
Yep.
And then when we were doing the Q&As, you know, this kind of, it struck me, and I had to like sit back, to myself after the Q&As, a lot of people kept coming up to me and was like, I feel your story about doing the YouTube channel and exposing yourself to the world.
Yeah.
And like that really touched me. So there might be something special coming up. I ain't saying what, but it's a certain individual. We had a little conversation, and his first name starts with OTR, but something might be up. I don't know. I'm not gonna get.
It ain't me, y'all.
deep
No,
into
it
it.
ain't me.
It just felt.
There's
It
a
ain't,
couple
it ain't
other
Mike.
OTRs.
It
Yes.
ain't Mike. So it just felt good to know that you are impacting somebody else's life. I got into this just as something to do, and to have that feeling and just be humbled that somebody actually came somewhere to see me and meet me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't coach. Like, people don't recognize me. I'll get a couple times. Where do I know you from? I don't know. Cable guy? I don't know. But it's just, it's just like this Sion addict, chef. Like, it's just some good people out there. And I think that the good energy that we brought together just hit the universe and attracted other good energies. Because there was a lot of good people in there. And like, I didn't feel a darkness. I didn't feel any negativity. Everybody was just welcoming to everybody else.
Yep.
And I just, I'm saying, I just want to make this grow and maybe continue this on.
That's right. That's right.
Look, all right. So it's a little backstory that we ain't gonna go into it. Why Hendo had to kind of do that, because them two that's in line right there.
Wow.
Two that's in line. I ain't said. I just said them two that's in line right there.
In the middle.
Oh yeah, I wonder what that meant.
Hey, you know what it meant, but I ain't gonna tell the
Look,
people.
it's stressful planning that stuff, right? So
Definitely,
everything will go perfectly, So there's a lot of conversation behind the scenes before to make that work, but we made it work, and it's looking like it's on again for next year. Probably not the same spot, maybe not the same spot, but
I think we outgrew that spot, man.
Definitely.
I think we outgrew it. Look, for me, man, it is everything y'all said all in one mixing bowl, but I think one of the things that stuck out for me, man, the dedication, like, just of us, you know what I mean? Coach, you traveling, man. Chris, you having the day that you had, man. Just getting here, like, I know y'all saluted us for being here and being, the boots on ground, that was local to take care of things that y'all couldn't get your hands on. But man, like, I just think the dedication y'all showed to get here and be a part of it, and I salute that. I thought that was dope. And then we had people that traveled. Big Reg, D Weezy came up from North Carolina. Ferris, man. Ferris coming from Cali.
Yep.
I hope
you know what I'm saying?
He ain't even home yet.
Ferris came all the way from Cali.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was just, that stuff was dope. That it showed that, you don't got to be next door neighbors with somebody, or grow up with somebody as a next door neighbor to have homies and friends and stuff like that. And there's just a support from those folks that did that. And like y'all said, man, like, I was excited to see each and every one of you. Well, I met everybody else, but Coach and Chris, I was excited to meet y'all. But like you said, man, it was just like, yo, what's up, man? What's good? Like, and it was funny. Like, I just looked at Coach and I was like, oh shit. I was like, look, yo, did Chris need a ride? Like, I totally forgot. And then
He
Chris
was gone, boy.
Chris floated up the steps somewhere, and I was like, oh, there go Chris right here. So, it was just, man, it was a lot of love in there, man. It was a lot of love in there, and that, of course, y'all didn't see the behind the scenes stresses and stuff to try to put this thing on, man. And we would have never let y'all see that, but to see it kind of work out, and exceed what we expected it to be. It was, man, it was well worth whatever that stress was. And
yes,
and just to get to kick it with, I wish, Chris, next time, man, you gotta stay down here a little, or wherever we do it, man. We gotta make it a weekend thing. But
Hell
Coach,
yeah.
you know, got to kick it with Coach.
Yeah.
And the rest of the fellas, you know, the rest of the weekend, man, we watched the fight, and you know, it was just like homies just chilling,
Mhm.
and it was all genuine, and
Yep.
that's the main thing. Like y'all said, no weird energy.
No weird,
It was just some dudes that, you know, just ain't seen each other for a second. That's all it was. So so man, yeah, salute. I want to say salute to all of the people that came to support, but salute to this team, man, for what we did and the sacrifices, and you know, and the stress, and the, you know, the hard work and putting on something like that. So salute to us for real for making that go down.
No doubt.
I will say this: like a lot of times when you guys be like, "Where y'all at? It's 9 o'clock. What? Well, y'all late? We have business meetings. We talking about. We was trying to get you know situations together.
Yeah.
'Cause all us work at different times, and so we kind of could get together right for the show to talk about what we need to talk about. So that's why that's a lot of times that's why we would come on late, trying to work out little details and whatnot of whatever we had planned and whatnot. But the swag bag was dope, man.
Yes.
Mhm.
Swag bags were dope.
Jasmine loved it. She said it was so fire. She said it came in clutch.
A lot of people.
We gonna read into that as we will.
I also want to point out, man, like, look, this is what supporting us gets you, right?
Mhm.
We keep telling y'all, everything that you donate goes back into the show, right? You support us through Patreon, you support us through donations, you support us by buying the merch. These are things that we have in mind for you. We're already talking about next year how it's going to be even bigger. Like, Mikey's not lying. Like, we did outgrow the spot. We outgrew it that night.
Yep.
You know, like, it's not going to really be an option for next year because we're not going to have the space, right? So we're already looking at some other venues for next year because we know it's going to be bigger and it's going to be better. So,
Hey, I want to shout out I think Brandon too. Brandon DJ for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, OTR
I ain't
Brandon.
gonna
OTR
give him a
Brandon.
shout out Brandon. Appreciate it for keeping the sounds going. It was a nice groove, a nice mixture of music. It just made the environment better.
Yeah.
Music does so much for events. It can ruin an event, definitely, and it can overpower an event. But his playlist and his selection was on par with what we were trying to do.
Absolutely.
And our host, Mike. Talk about our host.
Oh yeah, so my neighbor my neighbor became the host some kind of way. But shout out to her, man. She was game. You know, we had kind of discussed it. B and Hendo had volunteered me to MC it some kind of way. I was like, all right. I mean, shit, okay, I'll do it. But you know, my wife had talked to, you know, my neighbor, and she was like, yeah, I'm down, you know. So she did a phenomenal job, just for like a lot of it was on the fly for her. Like, you know, she asked me a few questions beforehand, but you know, she did her thing. And so shout out to Shara. I always say her, I'll say Shara. I want to say Shara, but it's Shara.
Salute to Sharon, man.
And who also had something in the swag bag, as well as Jane Doe. Y'all see Jane Doe in here. You know, they made the they made the swag bag worth its while. Trust me. So so yeah, so salute to them. Yeah, I forgot about OTR Brandon, man. He held it down. He OTR Brandon was like he was the video guy. He had the video playing on the screen for us, and he handled the music. So salute to him. And then, man, I don't want to leave out my man Mr. Galloway. Look, I ain't gonna put his business out there.
Shout out to Dre.
But you know,
Dre came through, yeah.
Dre took
He
a
came with the
chance
energy.
to come over there.
Did he?
and
Oh yeah, he did.
and what I
Risk it all.
learned is we should have just had
Dre.
Dre doing the video.
Right.
Because the joints he did was dope. You know,
Yeah.
and that was on the fly, man. So yeah, salute to everybody, man. See Iron Man, we got to kick it with him at the after party too. Like, it was just dope. Bazel was in the building, his wife.
Yeah.
You know, Reg, his wife, man. It was just, you know, it was just dope. It was
After
just
party was dope.
Justin
Yeah,
P
yeah.
came through.
Justin
It
P.
was Chef. It was amazing to put faces with names.
Screen name.
Yeah.
With screen names, right? That
Super
that
dope.
that's what that was the biggest part to me. The fact that people just came out to kick it with us, and we had no negative energy,
None.
zero,
None.
none.
You know how long I've been here about OTR Brandon? I had no clue how this dude looked. And then when we were on stage, Mike shouted him out, and I said, "Oh, you OTR Brandon? What's up, man?"
And wasn't Quan there too?
Quan
Yeah,
was
Quan was
there.
there.
Oh,
He was sitting right in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on my side. Mhm.
Yeah, man.
So-
it was
so it was-
it was just love, man. It was a lot of good people, a lot of heavy hitters in there too, man, showing a lot of love, man. Believe it or not, it was a lot of, for who I work for, it was a lot of the big wigs in there that I wasn't expecting to see. And I was like, oh shit, well, I hope they wanted to take a picture. So I was like, yo, is this a company picture? Because I had a glass I had a glass of yak in my hand. So I'm like, is this company or what? I don't need this shirt. Oh no, this ain't gonna post nowhere. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, we saw ticket sales. We're like, okay, we met our goal. Cool. It was a lot more than that that showed up.
Yep.
Right. A lot more people up by at the last second.
Mhm.
Literally the last second.
And some at the door.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The last second. Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta ask. I'm sure the wives took pictures, but I'm sure somebody got. But like just the setup, man, the walk in, like had the our bios out front and the little plaque.
I don't have
a
a
thing.
great picture of the Bible because the sun was so hard. And
That's right. I remember
my
you
intent.
taking
My
it.
intent
Yeah.
was to go back when the sun went down, but I do
Yeah.
have a picture of the table with the Bibles on it. But it's just it's so sun heavy that you can't really see it.
Yeah.
But I'll send it out. But my
you're
intent
right,
was
it
to go
was-
back out there.
Yeah. It, you're right. It did go by that 2.5 hours went by
That's
too
way too
fast.
quick.
so fast.
It went way too
And
quick.
that was that night was a blur because like I went to go, because my family came, my kids were there.
Shout
and,
out. Got to meet
yeah.
the family.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I want to make sure they were situated. My parents were taking them home. And I had to go find my car and bring it around so we can put tables and stuff in it. But while we're doing all that, we're talking about the after party.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, we're at the after party, shooting pool and listening to music and having fun, watching a bar fight.
Yeah. It went down.
It went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
centerpieces
centerpieces
were
were
dope,
dope.
but the mic that she had in there was I like. I almost cuffed one of them, Mikey. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Hey, man.
I almost cuffed one of the microphones.
Man, look, my man was eyeing the whole centerpiece, like, yo, yeah, that's dope. I was like, yo, take that shit with you when you leave, bro. I don't want that shit back in my house. I'll take that. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it lit like you said, man. Shout out to the wives, because look, that was all their vision. The centerpieces, the idea to have us backdrop. That I mean, and I was about to say, shout out
my
to you,
table.
but-
My table was all my wife. Like I ain't. My creative juices stop at football.
Right.
My creative juices stop at football. So and Mike, have you looked at your shirt yet?
I haven't. Mine,
Right,
man.
So Mike, I had shirts there, and you guys may have seen it. It's Mikey bought the new shirt I got out. So once you get the shirt, Mike, look at all the details in that shirt.
Okay.
This is in the shirt.
Oh, okay.
There's a raised fist in the shirt from what we be doing when people donate.
Yeah.
There's a couple of little surprises in the design of the shirt. And you probably can't see it from afar, like when I wear it, but when you go pick it up, go look at it.
I'm gonna look at it.
It's some details in that shirt, and it's pretty dope. And I shout out to my wife. That was a gift from her to me. And so she got it all hooked up and whatnot, and with the design and whatnot. And so that's gonna be one of the things that we start pushing over here on the channel.
That's
But
what's up.
it's a lot of detail in that design, and she worked her butt off on it.
Salute.
Yeah, it was two things I was looking for afterwards, because we had to pack the car and stuff, and I was like, "Where's my shirt?
Mm-hmm.
And where's my freeze pop?"
It's
like,
okay, tell
it's
about
in
your
the
freeze pop,
bag.
Mike.
It's in the bag. I ain't look.
You got freeze up?
You don't know about the freeze pop?
You ain't see you. You didn't see what Jane Doe was offering over there?
I was looking at it for a different reason, but
Okay. All right, well, yeah, I
We'll
got
talk
one.
about it. We'll talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. The freeze pop, I tell you what, you can freeze it and eat it like a normal popsicle, but you can also just not freeze it and just drop it in whatever kind of drink you got.
Yeah,
Okay.
And it turns into a DRANK.
right.
Ah.
Me and Coach had some drink that
Oh
night.
yeah. Me and Mike had a system going. We had a system. Especially when little lady disappeared.
Yeah, it was on. It was on and popping. But and though your wife, y'all came through clutch with the backdrop. Because we'd have had to tape that thing up if it wasn't for y'all. So
Yeah.
man, it was just like all of that, man. All of that, they really looked out to make it a real event. The food was good. The food lasted, and it was. I don't have any complaints. I mean, I think Zay, you said the sound system, and I think it was really the wireless mic that was really the one that was acting up.
It was the speakers too. Like it just, like the people by the bar couldn't hear as well.
Yeah.
Even if you spoke up, like it was just. I mean, it wasn't on us. That's just we had some turn it up, and they're like,
it was really one good mic.
Yeah.
So, but damn, it look. And the after party just got popping. You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of the party,
y'all brought me out of retirement and
yeah.
I didn't want to have to do that to you, Weezy. I ain't want to have to do it.
And shout out to D Weezy because D Weezy went to the after party and then drove home.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're at the after party, shooting a little pool, enjoying ourselves, listening to music, bobbing and weaving, whatever. Everybody do their little thing, and so I'm sitting there and I get some wings, and my wife is going outside to do something or whatever, and she comes right back with a look on her face. So shortly after look on her face, there's this team of security that moves like a O-line. You know how the O-line has to move as one?
Right.
They move. No. They move as one.
Yeah.
On this dude. Now she knows more of the details, like verbally, of what happened. But I saw it, but I couldn't hear what was going on.
Mhm.
But they took old boy from outside to inside to back outside, all in one. Every security guard in there was smoking this cat. I mean, smoking this cat, and I could see people get upset and look up and raise up and get nervous. And this is me right here. Yeah, I know somebody I've seen the Safari meme where he be in the park eating and that was me. This is normal. This is easy. They handle their business quick, and like Mikey said, that stuff normally don't happen there, but they was prepared. That's why I said shout out to them. They were prepared to. I don't know if they had pent up frustration. They whooped that man. They dog walked that man. That's the term we got active. That guy.
They got active. Look, the most work they had did that night was to tell me that you can't sit on the pool table. Don't lean on the pool table. That's the most work they did.
That's it.
And then next thing you know, you see them. From my point of view, it looked like they had them hog tied or something. It looked like they had them. They had them. I was just like, oh man.
I didn't even see it. It was just a blur. I saw a scuffle went down right next to our lady's table, right? Because they're all over there talking, and they having the table behind them. Mm-hmm. So I was talking to CR and Addict, and we just stopped talking. We just rushed over there to see, make sure it wasn't like a scuffle between the girls. But by the time we got over there, they're already outside.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I said, April, like, what happened? She's like, I don't know.
The coordination is why it doesn't happen there.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Now I tell you, they move like if you know, like you love outside zone play from O-line, they moved in unison. They moved in unison, kicking that butt, and it was like it was nice to see that, because the thing is that spot was dope too.
Yeah,
it was. It was only one part I ain't like. There's only one part I ain't like about that spot.
Was that?
His
was
favorite
this-
part.
It was this dude. Yeah, Jose knows. It was this dude.
I recorded it. It's
was this
recorded.
dude.
Yeah, I think we got a picture of that.
It's record. No, I got video.
You got recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got
yeah, we gotta
video
show that.
of
Yeah.
Listen,
Hendo
it was-
dancing to Usher.
I wasn't dancing.
You was grooving.
No, I was not.
You was grooving to Usher.
No,
He did the little chain swing.
Yeah.
hey, Chris. I'm just standing there. Coach comes over and grabs me, and he starts singing. I can't hear the music because anytime I hear Usher, my ears
I
just
know.
black out. he just singing and singing. I'm looking at Coach like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, it's Usher. It's Usher.
He didn't know who it was. He was like, "Oh, that sounds good." Then I was like, it's
I
Usher.
did not. I did not.
Like,
I
it's
said,
Usher.
you sounded
Then
good.
his-
I
Then
didn't
his
say
whole
yeah.
then his whole face went from
It sounded like a chick was singing.
I got
Hendo
a
stayed
picture.
home the whole rest of the weekend after that.
I got a picture of B being a pool shark too. I forgot
Oh,
to
yeah,
share
yeah. It's
that.
not on the table.
B was back there. He was hustling people
Why
for
did-
their cash.
That ain't.
Then he hustled people for their draft picks and players.
I saved some people.
Speaking of, you guys also got a treat if you went to the meet and greet. You got to see what's behind the beanie.
right.
Oh yeah,
Fact.
yeah,
Right.
that's
Yes.
true. That's true.
Right.
Yes,
That's true.
All right.
because that was a stipulation. Because that was part of the reason why we were late. But he asked me to cut his hair, and I was like, yeah. But if I'm gonna cut your hair now, you can't wear the beanie. He's like, let's do it. Let's
B
go.
was like, damn. All right.
It was funny because that really threw people off though when we got
Yeah,
in
no,
there
who was?
because I think Yolanda asked, a few people asked, they're like, "Where's Rodney?" I'm like, "He's right there."
I think it was
They're
the
like,
glass.
"Oh."
Yeah.
Now I knew who you were, but you did look different without the beanie.
And the glasses. He like a professor.
Wow. Okay. I don't see that, but all right. And T, to answer your question, if you go onto Twitter, onto any one of our profiles and just look at the likes, you'll see a bunch of pictures.
Bunch of pictures. Yeah.
Who asked
Yeah,
about
yeah.
pictures?
T.
T.
The
Yeah,
ML.
we're gonna put some. We'll put some more stuff on.
There's some video that we gotta get up.
Nah,
If
yeah.
in fact anybody, because a lot of people took pictures. If you had
Yeah.
pictures, you know,
Tag us.
tag us.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
tag us. 'Cause,
Mhm.
you know,
You get
we wanna
pictures,
put a
tag
little-
us. So
yeah.
I can retweet and put stuff together, and we can. Now I will say you this: if you don't follow, the best thing out there right now is Dre's video.
Dre, yes.
Dre
Yeah.
That right now,
Mr. Galloway.
Mr. Galloway on Instagram, I think
on everything.
his video he did with his selfie stick
Mhm.
was crazy. And like he got to
Be
me,
prepared.
he was taking pictures, but we did a video.
He did a
He
couple
was like,
videos.
man, this video is probably the best. Now I said, well, Dre, go back and do a video with everybody.
Mhm.
And Dre was all over the place.
Yeah, I'll never forget meeting Drake. My hand still
Yes,
hurt.
he was.
Dre
He was
was
excited to
balling.
meet everybody.
Dre was
Yeah.
a big ball of energy, and
I
I
was
appreciate him
excited
coming
to meet him.
despite what he had going on.
Yeah.
That other situation.
I wasn't expecting to see him. I asked him though. He was like,
He-
"Nah, he can't come." And then when I turned around and saw him, I'm like, "Oh,
I know. Yeah.
Dre, you all right?" Yeah, man. Yeah. I said, "I don't want to know what you had to do to get here, bro, but I'm just glad you're here."
Hey,
So appreciate you, Dre.
Good to be
And-
seen.
And the good to be seen
Yeah,
shirt.
good
and
to be
everything,
seen. Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
look.
it's a bunch of pictures. I got a bunch in my phone that with probably like different ones when people were switching in and out.
Yeah.
So now we can all get them together and just. But if y'all took them, post them and tag them.
Yeah.
I know Brandon took some. I know other people took some. Tag. I mean, if you feel comfortable posting and
Yeah.
tag us in them.
Yeah.
I know everybody don't post; they just keep it from personal stuff. But you don't. I'm not trying to make you. But if you don't feel comfortable posting your pictures, don't. But if you do, tag us in them so we can see them. And because
Mhm.
it was a great memory.
Mhm.
It was a great memory.
And like Coach said, he warned y'all. He warned y'all. You do not want to be on the outside looking in. There's some people that just like, yo, I ain't know this was going down.
And
Missed.
look,
missed
and
out.
we lived up to what we said. A couple things.
Yep.
All right. One, look, if you gotta pay at the door, you might play a little more. Right. Two, we said soft drinks was included, but Mikey had drank in the trunk, and I had
Facts.
He did.
So look, we held up on our bargain. All right. So I'm just saying, don't miss out on the next one, because the next one is gonna happen and it's gonna be bigger and better. I see a lot of people in there saying, now I'm salty, I missed it. It's all good. You'll have a chance, you know what I mean? But we're doing this because we want to recap it, and it was such a good evening and a good weekend. But now, we want y'all to realize that you don't want to miss it either. Right. This is
Hashtag buy your tickets 2024.
right.
I told y'all, don't be like the seniors. I told that story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't be like them seniors from last year. They didn't buy their tickets when they had their window to themselves, and they let them juniors come in and buy all them prom tickets. So then the week of prom, a bunch of seniors at my school was mad and PO because they couldn't get tickets because they wanted to wait till the last minute. So they sitting outside the prom looking at everybody and having fun. You had a whole window to get your own.
Yeah.
So, but I just thank you for everybody that came. Everybody.
Thank you. Yes.
And it was good to put faces with screen names, and what like Mike, like y'all said, wasn't no weird stuff going on at all.
At all.
None.
Yeah.
It was a great, like the saying, I think Red said, it was a great time had by all. The bartenders was cool. Our door lady was cool.
Yeah.
The DJ was cool. The food was good. The people in the building was good. Everything was good.
It's weird because it was everybody's first time meeting, but it didn't feel like it was the first time we was meeting. Like that goes with everybody. Like everybody that was talking and mingling.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know who you are, but it feels right.
Right.
Right. And the shot glasses was fire too.
Yeah.
Shot glasses was fire too.
Yeah, there might be an opportunity for some of y'all to get to get one, but we'll discuss that with the team and figure out how we can make that happen.
We'll coordinate. Coordinate.
We'll coordinate. But overall, dope, man. It was dope, man. It was really, really dope. And like I said, I'm proud of us, man. We pulled that off, and that's OTR Quan, man. He texted me early this morning. While I'm on my coffee run, like, yo, I'm like, what's up? And that Jose knows what a text from Quan is. He just literally says, yo. And I respond like, what up? He's like, man, y'all did y'all thing, man. He's like, I've been thinking about it all weekend. He's like, man, y'all did y'all thing. And I'm like, man, I appreciate it. So a lot of calls, a lot of people feeling that way. A lot of people here locally who didn't make it, who saw the pictures and saw some of the video, and they're like, man, it looked like it was a great turnout. And I'm like, yeah, it worked out. So
and shout out to the clique. That's me and Mikey's people, man. Like they definitely turned up, man. They showed up for us, man. Yeah. So salute to them.
Thanks. But it might not be over though. It might be something else special on the horizon.
Yes.
Maybe. Really soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, we always, man, look, guys, we keep telling you, man, we always thinking about y'all, man. We're always working on something. So, keep supporting us, and this type of stuff you're going to get.
Right. And speaking of support, this is the first stream since my loyalty points restarted.
Uh-oh.
So if you've been active in the chat, if you've donated or whatnot, if you donate via the and I didn't even put the pin comment up there. I was so excited to get on here and talk about the meetup. I forgot to do it. But if you donate via the pin comment, matter of fact, I think somebody on PTO chat bot on PTO, because I ain't seen it in the stream yet. They on PTO. But, if you donate via normally the pin comment, they still at the meetup. They still make sure you use the same screen name that you have, so I'll know how to add your points to it if it doesn't do it automatically.
Right.
Matter of fact, I had it turned off. Let me see.
So I mean, while you doing that, Coach, let me ask the people that was there: D Weezy, Big Reg, Chef,
Marcus.
Marcus.
See, I
Addict. What was y'all? What was a favorite moment for y'all? What was
Yeah.
a moment that stuck out for y'all?
Speaking of
great
chef,
Bazel, you in there?
salute to the chef 87, man, because he had a conversation with me towards the end, and he told me why, how he found us and why he started listening to us, and like that meant a lot, right? Like that's everything, because that's what me and B are going for. Because he's just like, look, like you don't hear the black perspective when you're talking about sports, sports media. Mainstream media doesn't really get our point of view a lot of times, and it was refreshing for him to hear me and B's take on it, and then the whole round table and everything. And that's exactly why we do this, and that's and we're glad that you get that. You know what I'm saying? So like, salute to you, man. Thanks for coming through and just hanging out. You hung out to the end. We chopped it up for a minute, man, and it was great to meet you.
indeed.
Yeah, shout and Chef too, man. Like Chef also shared with me, he had a little injury, and but he wouldn't let that stop him from coming. So, shout out to him, man, for still coming out, even though he wasn't feeling his best, but he still made it to the event.
Yeah, he told me that he's a PSL owner, and that because the the music in the stadium is so lame that he listens to my live streams while at the home game. that was funny. That was funny. He said the music is so lame that he'll have my stream playing in his ear while he's at the home. And sometimes he do put like what happens in there way before anybody else. I'm like, why is his feed so far in front of everybody's? Because he there live. Because he there live. And you see another thing about your swag bag. Speaking of the swag bag, you see him talking to Jane Doe. They talking about using stuff in that swag bag now.
Yeah, that injury, that's gonna help that injury, bro.
Yes, it will.
Put some chicken eggs, a little seasoning in there. A little something in there that can go on.
D Weezy said the atmosphere was dope. It was a legit vibe. True.
Let's see what Red said. That was D Weezy's. The atmosphere was dope. It was legit. Big Red says, honestly, being around everybody made the whole night special. Yeah, I mean, it was special. Is probably the best word. It was a lot for me. It was a lot of nervous energy going into it.
Yeah,
but it turned out great. Turned out great. See, I said the moment somebody hit the door, I didn't want to give my ticket saying, hey, she was a bulldog, man.
Yeah.
She was a bulldog, but fun. Hey, let the people know where they can find you,
You can find me on the Road Pod on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. What is the other one? TikTok. I'm gonna do a live stream every Sunday night at 8 p.m. I also do a live stream on Friday at 6. And you can also find me at audio form wherever you get your audio podcast from.
Mike?
Man, you can find me at Open Mic with OTR Mike, man. That's the channel. Go ahead over there and subscribe to that. If you have not already. Also, I'm 1/3 of Ring Kings podcast. It's been a lot of popping boxing over the last few weeks, and that should continue going further. I think we got Canelo coming up soon and some other big fights. So go over there and subscribe to that as well. If you want your boxing fix, if you want to follow me on social media, man, follow me at OTR_Mike. That's on Twitter or X, whatever we call it. It's always going to be Twitter for me. And on TikTok and on Instagram is OTR Mike _, man. Follow those places if you want to see some of the videos and the pictures and things like that, man. All of us have stuff up there, so go and follow our social medias, and that way you can keep up with what we got going on. And then that's also a way for there to be no excuse for when any other event happens that we put on,
right,
that you can't say you ain't see it. Because we all posted it. So go follow all of our social medias.
And so I don't know if I took it off or not, but that Streamlabs thing about the Meetup May pop up. Don't buy no ticket now.
Yeah, unless you want to donate. You know what I'm saying?
I just turned it off. Don't buy no ticket now.
If you buy it, that'll be your pre-sale ticket for next year.
But here you go, Mike. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was the centerpiece.
Yeah.
That was the centerpiece. I did have that one. I did email that one to myself. You had the microphone. You had the little cigar in the cigar box with your glass. That was in the center of every table. And then you also had a swag. I didn't take a picture of what was inside the swag bag, but
It's a lot of stuff.
it was
A lot, yeah.
It was a lot. I think Hendo. Somebody had a picture of the card and the chip on their social. Was that you, Hendo?
Yeah, I put that on Twitter.
So that was a way to go kind of see one of the things in there. But that bag was like one finger. You need your hand to hold that bag. It was some stuff in there.
Yeah, I think Chris got the chip with him. So that was
I got the chip, or what Kenny Pickett would call a hubcap.
There was a shot glass in there that people in the chat are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There was some good
Something to go inside the shot
Jane
glass.
Doe, right?
Yep.
There was also something to go inside the shot glass in there. There was a chocolate cigar. And then there were real cigars on the table, as you could see. That was one of your things. You could have grabbed one.
That chocolate cigar came in clutch on the bus. I was hungry.
There was some
The
skin rub and things like that. So, man, it was. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but there was a lot of good things in there.
And D Weezy had mentioned that the crab cakes didn't run out. Again, you had the wives to thank for that because they staggered the crab cakes. In fact, Mikey came up to me at one point. It's like, yo, the crab cakes are gone.
I was like, I hope that ain't all of them.
Like, yeah, I was like, nah. April told them to stagger it, so it didn't run out.
And shout out to them, man. They did a good job of taking care of everybody, man, and then getting us what we needed, man. Like, last minute we added a table here and there was no complaining and
none.
And, we just asked if the food start getting low just to replenish it, and they did. So shout out to Bus Boys and Poets. They ended up taking care of us. We had a little beef early on.
We did.
Little beef, just slight.
Yeah, but we worked it out. We definitely worked
it out, man. We made it happen. So shout out to them too.
I forgot to tell this story. So before we do the outros, I want to tell a story because once we do outros, everybody leave. So let's talk about Chris. You had your situation getting home. Let's talk about mine.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So planes, trains, and automobiles in real life. So we were scheduled to leave at 6-ish. I can't remember the exact time. So we were eating. We dropped our bags off at the airport and decided to go get something to eat, so we won't have to rush back and be sitting in the airport for so long. And so and this is a great idea by my wife. We're eating and we get the email saying that our plane has been delayed. So it's been pushed back, I think, to like 8, maybe like 8:30, so like 2 hours later. No big deal or whatever. We still can make our connecting flight in Atlanta. Another 10 minutes, I'll say about another 30 minutes past, gets pushed back to 9:30. So now we're in flux with, I don't know if we can make our flight. So by now we've decided to go on to the airport because we got to take the rental car back. And so we're sitting in the airport. And so she's, talking to customer service, trying to get us on a different flight. So there was this flight that was supposed to go to Atlanta at 2:00. Well, at 6:40, it's still sitting there. So we happened to get the very last 2 seats on that plane in the very back of that plane. And so we were able to get on that plane and get to that. No, I'm missing out. We were able to get on that plane. We ain't moved yet. We were able to get on that plane. The plane taxis. And then the plane pulls over, and I like looking out the window when I fly. Because the plane pulls over. And there's 2 other planes, like we just like in a parking lot. You know how you pull over in your parking lot pimp when the club get ready to let out? I've never seen planes do that.
Just chilling.
So they just pulled over to the side of the runway, and by now I peep up, and the sky darkens. So within the next 30 minutes, we're sitting on the runway, and it's all hell is broke loose in the sky. We sit on the runway for hour and a half, maybe. I think my wife watched like 3 episodes of some show she found, and it's crazy. So by now it's somebody done. Appreciate you, Jared. I appreciate it, Jared. Appreciate it. And so by now we trying to get to Atlanta. So we finally do get in the air and take off, and we get to the point where okay, we can still make our connecting flight. Connecting flight was supposed to leave Atlanta at 10 something, and I would have made it to Tallahassee at midnight. So it still would have been cool. So now we get to Atlanta. We sit on the runway 2.5 hours. All the gates in Atlanta are full of planes, and there are 75 planes on the tarmac waiting to find a gate.
That's crazy.
So much that they shut down Atlanta's airport and started diverting planes to other places. So every gate was full. Then they had about 70 planes on the ground trying to find a gate. So much that Delta started using like the manual, the little car, like a tugboat, but like the car. So planes, so flights that were getting canceled, they were just pulling those planes out the way. So at least they can get people off the planes and get them into the airport. So by now, my original flight, we keep getting updates from the original flight. It's scheduled to leave Baltimore at 1:45 and get to Atlanta at 3. But the plane that's got to go to Baltimore is still in Atlanta while we're in Atlanta. That plane never left. So now we're thinking, so once we land, we're thinking initially, okay, we still can catch our flight. They just let us off the plane. So as that time went by, obviously they ain't let us off the plane. And eventually, so we're looking at we keep refreshing the feed. Like, so maybe long as it don't say loading for our new plane, we good. Maybe it's delayed and we can get off and whatnot. So after about an hour of it not loading, her antennas go up. Something up with this plane. So after about an hour and a half of waiting, flight cancel. So by now it's pushing 12:30. And so we decided to try to get a rental car and just drive back because I gotta go to work. I can't miss another day at work. I didn't miss 2 days already. I can miss another day at work. So I gotta go to work. And so you think that'd be the end of this story? You get a rental car and drive home? No, that ain't it. So I get on my app, and I'm preferred on Avis because of the little deal we have with the school. And we get a car. Got a car, and it shows like what spot is in, and you just go to your spot and pick it up, and you be gone. So man, we get off the plane finally. Find the walk. Oh, you can't get on the train in Atlanta. The train that takes you for the different terminals, it's only going one direction. That's to the terminal. So everybody that's going away, you got to walk.
Wow,
That's crazy.
wow.
I forgot about that part. So everybody that's going away from the terminal, you got to walk. So it's just a mass exit of people just walking. And so now we finally get to the rental car place and find out, we stopped to use the bathroom, which looking back on it was a huge mistake. But you'll see once I get to it. So we get to the rental car place, we stop and use the bathroom, and we get out, we see where you can go pick your car up. So now as I'm in the bathroom, before I use the bathroom, I still can see where, what car I have and what spot it's in. Put my phone in my pocket, use the bathroom, come out. So, we're walking back, and as we get outside, I open my phone up, and right when I see the car, because I know what spot it's in, the little confirmation disappears. There's a guy in front of us, but it's a lot of people going on, so you don't really think of it. So as I was like, well, baby, that's the car right there. As I say that, he stops at the same car. I was like, this is me right here, partner. He was like, well, this is me too. He like, they just gave me this car at the counter. I'm like, well, I had this car in my app, but now it done disappeared in my app. So what happened is they funky, on the inside and took it from me and gave it to him.
That's crazy.
That ain't all of it though.
Oh,
But
man.
we're sitting there debating, trying to get the car because we asked him like, well, where you going? He said like, some of the suburbs outside Atlanta. They're like, well, we got to drive 4 hours. but he wasn't really trying to hear what we was talking about. We really wasn't trying to hear what he was talking about.
Mhm.
And I was perturbed, but I wasn't gonna be that guy.
Right.
I wasn't gonna be that guy. I wanted to, but I wasn't gonna be that guy. And trying to turn a new leaf a little bit. And I don't want my wife to never see that side of me either, because she ain't never seen that side of me. So as we're still trying to figure out what we can do before we actually let him out, 'cause we stand in front of the car on purpose. Another guy walks up and try to get the same car.
Oh,
No.
He walked up like, "Well, hey, how y'all doing?" Like he looking like, "Why y'all standing around my car?" I was like, "What you doing?" He's like, "Hey, this is my rental car. It's right here in the app." He tried to get the same car.
What? They're like, yo, whoever gets in it first. That's basically what they said.
And so the guy did go and try to get a lady to help, like the lady that was letting the people out, and she basically said, "One of y'all take the car, one of y'all go back inside." And she didn't come. She didn't come try to see what was going on, or nothing. So she basically like, "Forget y'all. Y'all do whatever you're gonna do." So we eventually, I go back inside, get in the line, but also go back in my app and try to get another car, and it says they sold out or something to that effect, but it let me put in like a longer date. And so because I put in to like rent it for 2 or 3 days, I was able to get a car, and we got in the car, and actually got out of the parking lot at 2:30 this morning. I had to be to work at 8. It's a 4-hour drive from Atlanta to here.
Mhm.
So I did make a little pit stop in Columbus, Georgia, and got a Coke, got some Red Bull, got some chips. So I think I walked in the house at about maybe 6:45, laid down to like 7:45, and just jumped up and went to work.
damn, you better than me because I would have killed him.
The guy with the car.
The one that was going to the suburb in Atlanta,
yeah.
like if that's me, like if I'm him, I'm be like, all right, you got it. Like, you taking a 4-hour ride, like go ahead.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So man, I would have like took my shoelace off and just did like one of them.
Coach, I was wondering because when I saw your text, like I was just pulling up to work, and when I saw your text saying at like 6:30, you was like, I just made it home.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, why he just making it home?
Right.
But that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
All that went on.
Mm.
So it was a good thing that everything went well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know in my mind while all that was going on, I'm like, I ain't never come back up this mug. Because keep in mind, the last time I came to Baltimore, we got stuck.
Oh, it's snow, right?
It snowed.
Oh, that's right.
But after the Rams game, it snowed, and we got stuck up here a couple. But actually, we was in a hotel, and that was cool. But still,
Yeah.
I'm like, I might not need to bring my butt back up here no more.
We gotta check out Ferris because Ferris is in Atlanta now.
And
you
that's
still
the
there?
thing.
I think so.
Probably.
He
Wait a
got-
minute. Wait a
he
minute.
got stuck coming here.
Wait a minute. First is still in Atlanta.
Bro.
I
They
don't know.
look at what Terrell is saying, right? I've been hearing 4 or 5 different horror stories about Atlanta Airport just this weekend. I was telling a buddy of mine who podcasts, his name is Baylor, right? He lives in Cali.
Mhm.
He was coming back from Jamaica, right? He said, he was telling me, he was like, I just had the worst travel day experience of my life in Atlanta. He was coming from Jamaica. They laid over in Atlanta. And he was just telling me, like, bro, they kept delaying my flight. They canceled my flight. He said they basically spent 24 hours in the airport. And he was saying the same thing that you were saying, Coach. It was so many people in the airport. It was so I told him your situation. And he was like, I ain't know who he was, but he's like, I'm sure we probably crossed paths because he was like, we were in the airport in Atlanta forever. And that's when I text the guys. I'm like, what's up with Ferris? Because I know he had a layover there. And I'm just hearing bad things about that airport and what's going on with it just this weekend alone, like horror stories.
And with that backup, it's probably gonna take them a couple of days to get back to flying to regular. And I'm froze, so I don't think I'm going crazy. I'm froze, but it's probably gonna take them a couple of days to get back to going better. But to close this story out, my wife gets a text saying your bags are at the the Tallahassee airport, at the Delta counter. So I go to get them. I go in there with my little, little receipt they give you when you check your bags. And the man says, I got some bad news for you. And I'm like, well, man, what now?
Right.
He said, your bag's still in Baltimore.
Man, that's the only kind of news they have in Atlanta, huh?
He said, your bag's still in Baltimore. I was like, well, hey. He said, well, we'll get them to you. And, he made me fill out some paperwork and whatnot. And he said they're going to deliver them to our door.
Bring it to my house, brother.
Yeah.
But, hey, and it, even though I kind of finagled the system on the car, it still only cost me $50.
Okay.
Whereas it looked like it was going to cost me $150 because it wouldn't let me. Once I had to extend it in order to get the car. But once I got it, I was trying to modify my reservation for one day.
Mm.
So I actually had to go to the counter and do that, and it ended up being like the normal rate. So I was able to take it back early and whatnot. But still,
cool.
it was a great weekend though.
No, I think that's cool that we could cross Atlanta off the list of destinations.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
We were supposed to travel to New Orleans in January. I gotta make sure that Atlanta ain't one of the stops.
If you flying Delta, it's Atlanta.
I gotta check.
That's their only hub.
I think I'm
But that's the first time I had a situation like that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. I think we're Southwest too.
Yeah. Well,
that's the first time I had a situation like that.
And that's what my boy Baylor said. But that's what I spoke of the sacrifice that these guys that had to travel here, man, had to go. I mean, poor Ferris. I hope. Shout out to Ferris, man. I hope he's good, man. He left here. Not only with the Atlanta situation going on, but like we were under tornado watch for a long time today too. So I know that delayed some stuff here. But man, that the sacrifice that these cats went through to come here and then try to get home, man, I couldn't imagine. Yeah. So sorry that had to happen, Coach.
Oh, it's cool. Hey, I had a blast though, man. The weekend made it worth it. Made it worth it. Yeah. Now I don't know where I was at in the outro, so y'all can just pick up. I don't remember who I did.
I did mine. I was done.
Chris, you go.
Yeah, you catch me on Twitter. Yeah, at Chris Just Joking. And then we got a first preseason game this Saturday. So Deep Cover will be doing our maybe bi-weekly shows, maybe tri-weekly shows. But, we will start pumping some stuff out.
Hey, shout out to Mike, man. Mike wasn't able to join us. He had an issue. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, Mike was sick.
Shout out to Mike.
He was like, anybody who could, who wanted a ticket? I was like, all my people in New York.
not the last minute I didn't.
Yeah.
I hit him up that morning. He was telling me his situation. Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike, man.
Jose and B.
All right. Yes, me and B, we are the Lunch Break Hot Take. We do a live show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Overtime Show, which you can find on our Patreon at patreon.com/LBHT show. And look, once again, man, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay. Look, they're the pictures right there. If you didn't know, now you know. When we say, hey, we putting something on, you don't want to miss it. When we say you don't want to miss it, you do not want to miss it. All right. And if you don't want to miss these things, you don't want to be on Twitter saying, hey, I did not know about this. This information did not get back to me. All right. Make sure you're following us. Not don't just follow us. Follow us.
Right.
Don't be just following us. Follow us. All right. That's one right there. Also, look, lbhtshow.com. All right. Sign up for our newsletter. That newsletter is going to keep you informed. All right. Ropod.com. TheRopod.com is another website you can hit up as a good resource. Just follow all of our handles, right? Everybody told you where they can find you. You can find us at LBHT Show or at Ring Kings Pod. All right.
Links in the description. All links in the description.
All right. When we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it right.
You good, B? You got one to add?
Yeah, no, hashtag no 2 hours over here, man.
Hey, we ain't been close to 2 hours for a long time, boy.
A long time.
Yeah.
We've been close to 2 hours, but the situation calls for an extended show.
Yes.
Facts.
Hey
Situation
man,
calls for
what do you
things.
guys think of the J.K. Diamond situation?
Who that? But obviously you guys know where you're here, so I ain't got to talk about that one. But more Sip the Tally got some stuff coming over there. Actually, you know, being delayed and all that stuff, I got some inspiration, you know, listening to a podcast, and I'm gonna work on my storytelling. So I got 2 shows I'm gonna put out over there over the next week or so that I'm gonna try to tell a story about some old stuff. And it became inspiration from a podcast that I was listening to while sitting on the tarmac
Nice.
and driving home. And so hopefully it'll come off as a good story. And I'm gonna play like where I got the inspiration from, and then hopefully there's video to. Well, I know this video, but hopefully I can articulate it enough to show what he's talking about and show it actually happening in purpose. I mean, in real time. So that's the goal over there on More Sip the Tally. But also, before this week is out, every Patreon name is going on the wheel, and I'm giving a little gift away for all the Patreons. I got to catch up on some work, obviously, because I was not home. I got to catch up on some work first, but I hope to do that Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. But I'm going to put every Patreon that I have. I'm going to put every name on the wheel, spin it, and whoever wins, it's nothing big. It's just a token of my appreciation for you guys, and then obviously the loyalty points have started, and you get those by just being in the lives, being donating. I'm gonna steal a little bit from Lunch Break Hot Take and throw some trivia out there, and whoever wins the trivia from they'll get points added. If you donate via Streamlabs, make sure you donate with your screen name so I can add it to it. If it doesn't do it automatically, it says it'll do it automatically, but I still got to go back and check it because you can donate on Streamlabs with any name. You can use any name. Like I was telling you last, I donated on their show. I was Sam Howell's arm. So, but make sure if you do it on mine, do it on your stream name so I can make sure your points go to where they are. And then September 1st we'll have our first loyalty giveaway, and whoever's at the top of the list, they win.
Yep.
Anybody else got any closing remarks other than hashtag no 2 hours? Because technically we ain't start at 9 o'clock on the dot.
Hashtag
we got
get your
3
tickets for
minutes
next year.
Yeah,
right.
Be on the lookout.
Right.
They coming early this year.
Right. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. Everybody that showed up, thank you. If you got pictures, post them and tag us in them so we can repost them and get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
We warned you. You didn't want to be on the lookout. You didn't want to be on the outside looking in. And it was a lot. It was great. I had a great time and enjoyed everybody's company. The after party afterwards, the kicking that we did the next day. It was a great weekend, man. Great weekend. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for doing the leg work. I appreciate just the overall thing. I'm just really appreciative of everything.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Mike, you got anything you want to close us out? Anything?
Nah, man, just get ready. Don't miss the next one. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't miss that next one. Don't be that dude. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't be that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or that woman.
Or that woman. Or that woman. You hit the nail on the head.
She was not happy.
Was not like, why ain't nobody know about this? Like, we've only been talking about it for 4 months.
Ain't watched a single show.
Literally read the room. Everybody knew. You're looking at the picture.
Y'all had an event? When did this happen?
Why ain't nobody say nothing?
That's right. The next time she gonna be there. She gonna be there.
We all looking at each other like, what? As much shit as we talking about this.
Many ways to be promoted it.
We cracking jokes, but she ain't gonna miss it because she like to talk.
Yeah,
she like to talk about the Ravens. So when we do it again, she ain't gonna miss it.
Right.
She ain't gonna miss it. So if you watching, we just talking. We ain't.
We just having fun with it.
We just having fun. All right. So on that note, I appreciate. Shout out to the wives again before we leave, because we'll make sure we shout y'all out enough, because we can all be cool with each other. but we got to sleep with y'all. So shout out to the Y.
And that's a good and they hit it off. Like
Yeah, they did.
I mean, it was cool. So that was.
You know what? I'll be honest, because we talk all the time. Us.
Yeah.
My wife have never seen any of y'all's significant others.
That's right.
So when we were kicking it, I just like when I was sitting on the on your porch, Mike, I kept looking to see. Is she all right? She all right. She was every time I looked up, she was engaged in conversation. So I was like, well, she all right. So I just had, just checking.
For sure.
And so I made sure, when somebody was disappointed with the selection, I made sure I came through the next day.
Yeah, that was a good. She was very happy about that.
Hey, I read the room.
Hey, Coach, you did it. You purposely did it. 2 hours. Thanks.
Oh yeah, perfect. All right, peace. I filibustered for